Happy New Year and welcome, friends, to Let's Play Rule the Waves 3 as Germany, starting in 1935. It's February 1969. We are 2 years into our war with the United States. We won a famous, huge victory over them. They still have lots to lose. Let's just go to the almanac. You can see they still have 11 carriers in service with another 8 building. So there's still more than three times the carrier tonnage that I am. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure what else they can do. If we have a look at the intel reports and filter on USA, I'm surprised to see there are ignore all of these US scientist things. That's just us catching up on our intelligence now that our intelligence is on high with America. But there hasn't really been a lot of complaints. Not since September, rumors of war weariness and protests in the USA. I don't think, are blockading them. They're not blockading us. We have a little look at France. We will likewise see they're, not all that bothered, increasing their budget, indeed, repeatedly. I've, not really faced the French at all. So, yeah. The Americans have been putting out peace feelers, so let's see if this victory makes them think again about their war aims. Okay, coastal defense. Let's generate that battle. Ah, well, we haven't got anybody there, so 600 VPs to them. Latest defenses is turned into a bloody stalemate. Well, kill surprise. Not particularly bothered by any of that. Improved missile boats. Well, we're not building anything, so that might be a thing to build in our US East Coast naval bases. That would be a tricky thing. New jet attack ready for evaluation. Hooray! Let's see what the advances of science have brought forward. Well, a little bit of a nudging forward, but the Faisaler here is the clear winner. It's a bit faster, although actually its cruise speed is ever so slightly slower. Its range is a fair bit, so from 415 at heavy to 499. So nearly 100, more than 100 at light, but who ever uses these things at light? Maneuverable ability is the same. Toughness, a little bit less, but the important one is 2 heavy air-to-surface missiles instead of the traditional 1. So yeah, that's a big addition. And we torpedoed a French heavy cruiser. Well, fair enough. And they've sunk one of our submarines. Boo! And a submarine, one of theirs, has sunk one of our destroyers, and another of our destroyers. I'm sorry. An enemy submarine has torpedoed our ship, Coal Lighter number 16. What on earth is that? Oh no, Coal Lighter number 16. A little bit of a thing with Japan. Japanese losing cruisers for a corvette. They've sunk an American heavy cruiser. Nothing really going on. They've got some raiders again in the East Coast and in Northern Europe, but nothing. Gain 230 VPs for blockade of the enemy. So we're blockading the enemy, America. And weirdly, they didn't sue for peace despite the monumental defeat that they suffered. Oh, well, hello. Rumors of mutinies in the US fleet. They, it is 69. They're probably smoking joints and listening to the Doors and stuff like that. And, the whole zeitgeist has got to be, what's the point of this war? Send me home. Mutiny in the US fleet. A lot of more news, but none of it really consequential. Not compared to Mutiny. So yeah, our fuel shortage is concerning. I'm going to let it ride this month, see if we get any peace proposals. If it continues next month, then I will have to probably send the fleet back to Northern Europe to re-establish fuel supplies. Let's have a look at these aircraft types. So the Faisala, 4 months of development. We can request a new, and obviously the only thing we're interested in is another heavy jet fighter that is, yeah, speed, obviously. I might go for firepower, however firepower is measured. See what that brings up. Okay. Let's go and build some of these missile boats. The base itself, it's a fortification. And yeah, MTB squadron, and I know, let's be generous. And let's give ourselves 4. Click on that. Oh, all right. Well, let's do 2 then, shall we? Let's go to Hamilton and do the same. Because why wouldn't you? Boom. And that's both of them. Good. And just see about these missile batteries. Right, so the missile boat's going to take 6 months. Missile batteries would take 8 months. Seems a lot. But, you know, let's build a couple. We've got the money. So, yeah. We've never had a battle down near Bermuda. Yeah, that's got a 2,200's worth of construction going on, which is fine. And then otherwise, yeah, let's press the turn and see if... Oh, well, okay. Battleship engagement. How delightful. Well, okay. It's the whole enchilada. All of my battle cruisers, heavy cruisers as the main force, and all of my carriers and escorts as the carrier force. There are no ships to add. Inflict more damage on the enemy than you suffer yourself. We are off. We're in Onslow Bay, a name borrowed from, so many were, from England. Onslow was my first home in a suburb of Guildford, south of London. So, US seaboard 60 aircraft. Not many planes from the land to worry about. So, okay, it's a bit far from bases and stuff. It might be that Bermuda is the place that I'm going to have to go to for my damaged ships, but okay. Seems fine. Lay a few minefields, well, why not? And see what's what. 550 files, ouch. Even a couple of cruisers, even heavy cruisers, can't manage 550 miles. So, yeah, the fuel might make things a bit problematic. Here are the CVs. Let's just put this onto automatic and have it core. Obviously, there's going to be no cap provision here from anybody. I mean, we can ask. I don't think that's ever going to happen. Yeah, I'm just going to sort through the fleet and make sure that they are in a good line abreast so that if and when they meet the enemy, they will be in a good position to loose off their missiles. Let's have a look at the wider picture. So let's set that on first. The time... It's going to be 5 minutes until dusk. Alrighty-ho. The wind, if I hide myself, is that kind of direction. It is overcast. Wind is calm. Nighttime range is 4,000. So that's all fine. If we just zoom out, let's just put myself back in there. So we can see there's dusk about to arrive. There's Wilmington. There's a couple of SSGs, which may or may not be helpful. But otherwise, we're really close. So here is Bermuda. So yeah, that is our closest. When I say closest, I mean, whoa, it's about 565 nautical miles. So yeah, we're a bit far away. Of course, it brings up the question is, where might be the American fleet? Because it's going to be somewhere. Well, it thinks it's down in this direction. So I'm going to assume it's not in this tiny bit here. I know there's a slight risk, but yeah. I've set a two-phase search, nighttime cap. I'm setting the cap to heavy because I've had success in that in the past. Obviously, there's not a report anywhere. But yeah, obviously the American fleet is presumably somewhere off Charleston, off in this general arc. So yeah, somewhere like there, or here would be my guess as to where everything is. And although there are two bases at Wilmington and Charleston, there are very few American land-based airplanes for reasons. So yeah, let's plow on. Let's do 5-minute turns and right. So instantly, even the carriers are reporting that they're low fuel. So I don't know. Can I actually turn the buggers round? Because this actually doesn't seem like the greatest idea. So no, as usual, I have no control over the fleet until there's some sort of sighting or report or something like that. Oh yeah, let's just see. Right. So someone's picked up a radar contact. The radar contact is, whoops, just there. That wasn't the effect. Is there. That's the effect I wanted. So, yeah, staggeringly close, considering this is a carrier force and would have presumably have been looking at this. It is only 43 miles away from my carriers. Yeah. Okay. So, time to, well, first of all, head into the wind. That would probably be a nice thing. Let's push the speed up to, say, 20. For these guys, so as you can see, the orange here is my missile range. So not only are they ludicrously close to my carriers, they are also ludicrously close to my surface strike group. So let's push it on 1. Yeah, let's just see this resolve into something. The old unidentified ship. And they are targeting. They are targeting, and we are firing. A generous fire. I mean, that's why I've set the fire mode to ripple. Imagine if I'd set it to half or to all, because obviously, and then they've launched, and here they are resolving themselves a little bit better. There we go. So it's a proper old fleet. So whilst the carriers are going this way, it might be time to sort out some strikes. Although you notice we actually have no reports, which is not very helpful for the Admiral. I've just auto-selected the strikes and made the strikes ready. I'll take a view as to who I actually launch. It could be a strong fighter-based one rather than jet attack and fighter. That's been successful in the past. Everyone has 130 missiles each, except for the Graf Zeppelin, which has 142. Go you, Graf Zeppelin. Yeah, all the others have 130. Don't know why that is. And so that's got them going. Yeah, let's push it on. A couple of hits. My concern is, yeah, there's a hole. I'm going to turn the fleet to the. Let's push that up to 25. to the southeast, because we don't need to necessarily run into these guys immediately. My concern with all of these is it's only going to splatter a few ships. I mean, a stonking great big load of hits reported, but on whom? Nobody knows. Well, narrowly evades missiles by maneuvering. Well done, Breslau. Voxlav, as it is now, near my dad's old hometown. So, yeah, although it was Breslau at the time, my dad. So, yeah, plenty of hits, plenty of decoys and countermeasures and stuff like that, but obviously you can't make an omelette without stuff. Are these all missed? Oh, no. Oh. High speed increases flooding. I didn't even know it'd been hit. Oh, well, there you go. So, yeah. Oop, there you are. Not enjoying life. So let's just take you down. Let's take you down to that. Send you off in that direction. Who knows whether you'll make it or not. So, yeah. Let's got all of that going. And Z77 takes a hit as well. I mean, before Rule the Waves, I was a keen military historian, and I didn't really understand much about the 60s, 70s, 80s fleet and how missile warfare had changed it into sort of torpedo warfare on steroids, and how bloody and immediate the losses would be. It's been, quite an education. I'm sure it's not quite like this in practice. Certainly, you wouldn't want to get within 50 miles of the enemy and not know. That never. Well, we have very few naval wars to go by, but certainly in the Falklands, that didn't happen. I mean, yes, there were cock-ups, but often when you were close to land, any road, we're certainly pummeling them, whoever they are. And so let's keep pummeling. Well done, Breslau. Hard lines, Z209. So I think I'm going to turn the battle cruisers away a little bit. This is all very intense. If I go to manual fire and just see how many are left, yeah, we've already loosed off the great bulk of our missiles. There is reportedly a CV there, but it's a radar report, so nobody knows whether that's really a thing or not. And Z85, so these ones to the front really take a pummeling. So let's bring them around. And a few more hits, countless numbers of hits, so yeah. Z85 isn't long for this world either. I don't know where Stuttgart thinks it's going. Oh, it thinks it's independent. It can just do whatever it likes. Well, let's make it a bit more useful, shall we? Yeah. Ouch. Few more hits by missiles. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Whoops. Can't be helped. So yeah, we're gonna be taking a few lot. What on earth is the Hipper and the Shear doing? They're scouting to the north. Brilliant. Well done, chaps. Let's turn you round. Yeah. So there goes the carriers. Let's make them go a little bit more east. pick up the speed to say 25. Not hearing that, yeah, there's a few more sinkages. Let's just go to the force here again, look at the missiles. So, yeah, no wonder Blucher still has a few, but aside from that, there are very, very few missiles left. And that's it, like 5-minute battles. Breslau near missed, but its turret was disabled. Odd. There you go. How are we doing, Breslau? 30% damage. Do we need to sort something out for you? Well, that seems unfortunate. The good captain evades by last-minute maneuvering and then pulls off the same trick a second time. Nice. They get a near miss. Okay, so the 30% is simply because one of the turrets is disabled. It's actually not. One heavy hit. Excuse me? A 14-inch near miss? Whoa! Where the heck is that coming from? It's coming from this CA. Well, I've just had a look at what amusingly is still called Jane's fighting ships in the top before they must have decided elsewhere to call it the Almanac. And the USS Congress, 9 14-inch guns, is doing the business. So yeah, let's go say hi to the Congress. Now it's being reported here as a CA, but we don't think so. Right, so that gives us something to work with. Okay, so the circled ships are all crippled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 destroyers. We've already lost a couple more. The Stuttgart is heavily damaged as well. So they're all detached and proceeding slowly to give their damage control parties a fighting chance. We do have some destroyers here with a few missiles, so we're sending them south to see if they can intercept the Congress. And the battle cruisers are turning round in order to get into an engagement with said USS Congress, which apparently is here. The carriers are still preparing their strikes, but that's okay because we have no reports. No reports, aside from, clearly some missiles coming from way, way, way back. I mean, if we look at some of these missiles, assume they are theirs, not ours. Let's just look at which way these guys are going. Yeah, they're heading towards us. So, yeah, there's more stuff around there that we're not seeing. And, yeah, there goes another destroyer. Oof. The old one-hit wonder there. So, somewhere the Americans have found what I'm going to call an awful lot of missiles. Yep. Here comes a whole pile more. Okay, here come the first of the strikes that are ready. More. Hopefully those missiles are going to hit ships that are already crippled. Let's see how these are doing. So this has still got... So this one hasn't, but its friends still have some missiles. So, yeah. How are these guys doing? So we... Yes, tricky. I don't know if I actually want, at this point, to risk the battle cruisers. I mean, so... On the one hand, we've loosed most of our missiles, so you'd think the Americans would have loosed most of their missiles, so we're in a kind of like missile-free zone. There's been no evidence of American carriers yet. There's just double-checking yet. There's still not a report anywhere, even of these ships, which seems to be very unhelpful. So we've got actually very little to launch our aircraft at. So I probably should... Let's pop the back here. I probably should keep focused on these and keep in contact with these, because at least that's something I can launch the aeroplanes at. So yeah, tricky. What's my range from there to here? 29,000. Want these destroyers to stop fouling the range in an old-fashioned way. Paderborn has taken a nasty hit too. I don't feel this is going immensely well. Just they've still got some missiles, so let's cancel that. Let's head them towards, and let's get them to turn together to open up some of their missile arcs. So yeah. So let me just go to reconnaissance, whatever. I mean, that should have all gone. And okay, I've selected a couple of strike packages from von Richthofen and from Lithenthal. If I select Graf Zeppelins, it takes the time on target. If I do one carrier, it's at 1 o'clock. If I do two carriers, it's 1:30. If I do three carriers, it's 3:30. So let's not do that. There are no reports, so I've had to do a target location where these radar reports are. It's only 42 nautical miles away, which is ridiculous. So let's launch them, and then they are underway. Then I can do another one from Ellie, arriving before midnight, so they would actually get there first. Peter Strauss's group hasn't got its guys ready, so let's launch them as well and see how these bully boys enjoy after hitting so many of my destroyers. Let's push it on a minute or two. See, there comes the Johnny-come-latelys. Well, we'll keep you in the proverbial back pocket. Let's take these guys out of it. Have these got some missiles? Yes, they do. So let's turn them towards. Let's turn the battle cruisers towards. And yeah, let's see if we can bring some sense to any of this, actually. That's, yeah. So, it says there, I was going to say, we could make smoke, but it's 1969 and it's radar controlled and smoke doesn't matter anymore. So, yeah, let's not bother with that. Have these guys got missiles? Yes, they have missiles. Well, somebody launched a missile. Yeah, they're not doing well. So here's that heavy cruiser. So he's made us do a loop-the-loop, effectively. So let me just try and sort out this fleet a bit. Okay, that might have brought a bit of order to this terrible mess. Yeah, some missiles launching. Oops. Oh, this is all very costly. I mean, yes, we did wallop some. No, going to wallop some of their ships too, but yeah, so many ships. So what is the time? It's just coming up to 12 Zulu time, that is. Right. Right, desperately trying to organise this dog's dinner and allow the battlecruisers to have some open arcs for its guns. Somebody loosed off a late missile, which is nice. Because we should be firing at these guys 21,000, and yet, strangely, we are not. Try some good old-fashioned manual targeting. Nope. No one to manually target. Okay. Right. It feels like I'm starting to get this lot under control. This, I believe, is the Constellation. I noticed that we've been spotted by enemy aircraft. So boo to that. Some more missiles going off and hitting a CA in inverted commas. Battlecruisers still not making any impression. So something got hit. Okay, some more missiles launching, so that's nice. That surely has got to be the last of them. But this now is our formation, with most of the damaged ships out the way, except for Z108 there. Okay, let's hope this opens things out a little bit and allows these guys to shoot at that guy. See, well, that might have been at that. Here's some fighters. Here's some missiles. Wow, they're coming from the carriers. OMG. That's never a good sign. You don't want to be your carrier forces contributing to blizzards of missiles. Thank you very much. Let's just see what strikes and stuff we've got available. So we've got a strike that we could ready on the Graf Zeppelin, but we've already got some guys on the deck waiting to go. Let's see if there's a target. Still not a single report. Oh, well, I lied. There is a single report. There's a report there, wherever there is, and there, and there. So I think these two. Okay. So interestingly, that is what my understanding is the battlecruiser. So still nothing of any kind of carriers. Okay, so order starting to come out of this chaos. We've got the Arado jet attacks coming in on the CA on fire. Well, I think that's the USS Congress. So hooray for that. No other significant reports at the moment. So at least we've had some reports of something. So I suspect the 4 battlecruisers are going to be actually late to the party, which is all right-ish, I guess. We've been spotted again by enemy aircraft, so I'm just going to come out and go to the carriers and just make sure they are heading in the right direction, as I think I'd like to call it. I don't remember asking it to go north. I very much would like it to go towards Bermuda, generally. And I'm just going to do this again and, yeah, bring in the distance and change the fan. So I'm going for a 5-plane fan from due south around only 200 miles. Nothing appeared later than this at the moment, so if there's something around here, it surely is in that kind of place. Yeah, you can see, well, that's a useless report, isn't it? I think I'll is that the earliest? For some reason, I'm not concerned about a single destroyer. The reports aren't very good at reporting, is what I'm going to say. Anyhow, another flurry of missiles zooming across. Yep, their mine, so hopefully there are no friendly fire instants. Ooh, oh yeah, so I was going to say, approaching, oh no, 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 it's us approaching them, it's not them approaching us. Fine. So let's see if we can see anything. So finally, we've opened fire, so we can swing round. We are only at 16,000 yards. It's probably moot because this lot is almost certainly going to take it out. Boom, 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 boom. So yeah, and a lot over here, which was where we originally sent the force and where some of these reports are. So all these reports are quite recent. It's 13 minutes past midnight Zulu, and so yeah, these are all within minutes. So whether they find anything would be interesting. Obviously, stuff is up here. Oh, that's interesting that they've called this one out as a BB on fire. Well, that's what we like, isn't it? Yeah, they're all on fire, so that's all a bit unnecessary. Okay, let's just slow the battle cruisers down a bit, and yeah, they're going in the right direction. And hum. So a CV and a CVL reported in there. Whether these guys, because this is me, so whether they're going to actually hit something, that would be great. Enemy aircraft approaching Line 2, which is the Scharnhorst. So, somebody has winged the Graf Spee. Stauffenberg has hit a heavy cruiser. Our cap has gone in and shot down and damaged 4 jet attack Avengers, so that's a good thing. So there are some planes around, whether they're from Wilmington and Charleston, I don't know. Obviously, there's reports of carriers, but there's only so there's that there. So yeah, so this stuff here. So I might want to launch a strike on them. Let's take it at face value and assume that that's a thing. Okay, so 2 jet attack and a heavy jet fighter escorts against CVs, a CV and a CVL reportedly 73 nautical miles away. Let's launch them. And then from Fluke 2, we also have a strike, so we'll make it to the other report nearby, 68 nautical miles away, a CVL and some stuff. It's probably the same lot, but let's launch them. Let's ready another strike on the Graf Zeppelin when it's got rid of this first one, so let's ready them. And we'll hold off on other ones. I want to... I do have 4 jet attack squadrons on Otto Luthenthal, 1 on Richthofen. I'm assuming that Otto and Manfred are contributing their fighters to the heavy cap because we're a bit down on jet fighters at the moment, but that's okay. We've got 2 strikes in the air and another one readying, so I'm good with that at the moment. Okay. This is such a strange combination of boldness and caution that you have to do. You have to put it out there and take some losses, and look at all of these down to the south. All of these are damaged ships. Probably most of them won't make it back to Bermuda. So yeah, you've got to be bold, but you also don't have to be insane about it. The cap's taking down 3 more loads of Avengers, so that's 7. So I mean, that's you can't argue with that. I'm not sure what the battlecruisers are bringing to the party. So I might just withdraw the surface action group now. I think they certainly absorb the missile attack. So if you want to view them as a soak that defends the carriers, then they've certainly overachieved there. And they loosed off a whole pile of missiles, which presumably has done a whole pile of damage. And yeah, there's not much else they can offer. They've loosed off all of their surface missiles. Yeah, they're shooting at somebody, but that I think is very secondary. So in a minute, I'm going to take them away. Yeah, let's do that now. Let's bring them out. Whoops, wrong one. Bring them out, send them back to Bermuda. I don't think this cruiser on fire is any consequence whatsoever. And then, yeah, sort that out with the fleet going back to screening stations. Yeah, I've just had a look at these guys, and frankly, I'm going to lose most of them. So that's a pretty heavy loss. You know, if I get 3 out of this lot returning home, that would be pretty good. So I've put all of these guys back onto screening. So there's very much 2 formations. There's the get out of the way, the big guns want to fire, putting them into support. And then once that's all done, there's go back to screening, surround the big ships again. So yeah, that's got all of that happening. And yeah, that's on 25, so it's fine. And then these guys are just jumping away. That's good. So yeah, let's push the time on. More missile hits, which is all great. Said 108, suffering mightily. Yeah, no more attacks on my guys, whereas we seem to be shooting at them, and that's all to the good. I'm just going to see if I can make any sense out of these intelligence reports. Okay, so there are these reports, which are the ships that we can really see and are probably all on fire and sinking. There are these, which all are much of a muchness, and I'm not entirely convinced they may be the remainder of the surface action force. There is this lot here, which does all include carriers. So either 1 CV and 2 CVLs, ditto 3 CVLs. So there seems to be a 3 carrier, light or fleet force around about here. So, and then there's this little weird one. Oh, actually, that's another 2 CVLs. So yeah, part of this southern CVL force. The most recent report around that is here. So yeah, I'm going to have a little look, see how my readiness strikes are doing. So they are still being prepared. So let's just go back to Flug 1. Now, I've not seen any cap battles. Well, I've not seen any enemy cap battles. I've seen my own, obviously. So yeah, so I'm tempted to do this strike using 3 squadrons of Arados from Otto, along with a couple of fighter escorts from Graf Zeppelin, just a small one, and yeah, ready all of that. So let's ready it, and then see what comes up. Or actually, I could take that off and just do the 1. Yeah, let's do that. So let's ready those. Okay, something in the back pocket. You see, we've been spotted by enemy. So, you know, they're not struggling for spotting. Uh, 11 light jet fighter boomerangs on escorts. Tackle one of my caps, and one of my caps shoots down one of them, and then a couple more, as well as a Thunder Screech heavy jet fighter. So, yeah, that's all. So there's a big strike, big fighter sweep actually going on there. I've noticed quite a few missile reloadings, so that's something to bear in mind. Let's just push it on. Whole pile more ships of various denominations. Never a carrier. I mean, even in the previous battle where I sank what I think is technically known as shitloads of carriers, never once was a carrier ever reported hit. So yeah, enemy aircraft approaching Flug 2. Well, I don't like the sound of that. So let's just see which way people are going. They're kind of having to go into the wind and all of that kind of nonsense. So let's see if I can tempt them to perhaps go in a slightly more helpful direction. As ever, not being able to steer. Well, Blucher is launching heavy missiles. So well done, guys, for your... Yeah, we're still shooting at somebody. I mean, obviously, I can't actually see who it is. Let's just see if... So, a CL, apparently. Let's just open out the arcs slightly. Nope, they're still firing at invisible target. Graf Zeppelin missile coming, because Graf Zeppelin overflown by missile. Manfred near missed by missile. Yeah, so slightly living dangerously. Let's focus our attention on the carriers a bit, I think. Yeah, they definitely are all wanting to go to the north. I'm definitely not wanting them to go that way. Wow, they're really persistent. They are ignoring me wholeheartedly. Yep. Totally turning into the wind. Sorry, that was something for my boys here. Let me just check that... No, Graf Spey took that little hit. Aside from that, Von der Tann just shooting at mysterious unknown enemy. Just going to adjust this to about that 98. I think that roughly takes you to Bermuda. So let's carry on with that and focus on trying to get these guys to not get in the way. Oh, yeah, epically refusing. Yep. Going 180 degrees away from where I need them to go. Perhaps if they just went a little bit north. I'm sort of ignoring the battle off. Okay. Yep. Still more planes spotting. I mean, look at the size of this cap. I make no apologies, I think, for the heavy cap. The fact that we've had missiles overflown by von Richthofen and from Graf Spey, I think is, yeah, look at this. Boom, 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 boom. This is what you want a cap to do. Yeah, 5 shoot downs or damages, and presumably putting off the remainder. And a couple more. Yeah, oof, and more. Yeah, absolutely pummeling people who have the temerity to try and take me. I mean, we've got Scharnhorst and Graf Spey launching heavy SAMs. So it's, we're doing well. Happy about that. But it's not inconsequential if I didn't have a damn mighty powerful cap supported by a whole raft of heavy medium SAMs. You know, this could be very, very different. This is, not a small attempt to hurt me. What the heck is Bermuda? My God, it's miles away. So, yeah, for reference, that's 101 degrees course for the carriers, and about 94, 95 or something like that, 98 we're on for the battle cruisers. Okay. Okay, I think we're kind of heading home. I mean, yeah, we're being attacked by enemy air forces, but we seem to be well capable of sorting that out. We are approaching enemy ships, so that's all good. And yeah, more and more stuff. So a missile near missed the Magdeburg, so certainly not out of danger completely. Graf Spee overflown by a missile as well. How are we doing for speed? 25, and I might bring that down to 25 as well. Not for the carriers themselves, but for mites overflown by a missile. Enemy ship unsighted, hit by a missile. Yeah, I'm just concerned about the destroyer fuel, as ever. Z-130 launching a surface-to-surface missile. So, still going on. Let's, again, see if we can make sense out of these reports. I mean, loads all of a sudden. Okay, that was really helpful. So up here, we have the remains of the Surface Action Group. Over here, we have force variously reported as having one or maybe two carriers. But here and here is really significant. It's the same force. They have been reported within minutes of each other. They are both 3 carriers and 3 light carriers, or 3 carriers and 2 light carriers, with 3 or 4 cruisers, with 16 or 12 destroyers in escort. So that is a huge target, and that's absolutely what we're going to focus on. This, I think, is spent and of no consequence, and this is small potatoes in comparison to wherever these two are. So I'm going to send a strike against this one rather than that one, because if I go that way and they're here, hopefully I'll see them and they'll realize what's going on. I've got 2 groups. I've got Graf Spee, a couple of Arado attack squadrons, and a couple of Blumenvoss heavy jet fighters to escort. So I'm going to send them. I'm not going to send, I've got 3 jet attacks from Otto from Lithenthal. I'm not going to send that. I'm going to instead add in a fighter escort for that. So let me just launch this and then go and sort out the escort. I'm going to add in a couple more Arados as well as the escorts. That doesn't blow our deck. If I had 3 more, the strike exceeds the deck load. So we're going for a maximum load. So let's ready those. Some obviously are already ready. Right, let's see if there's anything from Flug 2. Okay, I can load up Ellie. So let's do her as well and ready that strike. Okay, so yeah. Looks like the Americans have been in 3 groups: a surface action group, a small carrier group, and then a larger carrier group here. Does raise the question, should I do something with the force here? Let me just check my missiles. So Blucher has 10, Scharnhorst has 1. Prinz Eugen and Lutzow have 3 and 2 respectively. So there are Stuttgarts. It's mainly the cruisers. Presumably they're mainly the ones with the reloads. So, yeah, they are a little far away. Some are just within this closer one, but if it's further away than reported, then they're just outside. So I will keep them in the back pocket for now. And yeah, let's just press on with that. Obviously, yeah, we're being spotted for aircraft. So, so I'm heading roughly eastwards to get to base in the Bahamas here. Now, I could take the view that I could go north up to Halifax, but that does seem a long way away. But my distance between that and the closest one is 74, and from the further one is 95 nautical miles. That is pretty close. So, yeah, something to bear in mind. Certainly something to keep the heavy cap going, and down goes 2 more Avengers. Not avenging anybody. The Lutzow is launching a ship, a missile at somebody. Let me just see if I can see the Lutzow. So what's going on here? What is going? Why? This group seems all a bit higgledy-piggledy. I'm not quite sure why they aren't in a nice line. Von der Tann does have a heavy missile, so hooray for reloading crews. Now, where is the Lutzow? So, concerningly, the Lutzow is in the middle of the carrier force. So, who on earth is it launching a missile at? Suppose it could be launching at some of these. Yeah, and there is a missile, so yeah, that's probably not super helpful. Yep, there goes a missile. So that's what's happening on that one. And a missile hit on a light cruiser, apparently. So interestingly, the carrier groups aren't really attacking the battle cruisers. They're going for the carriers. And I mean, fair enough. Enemy approaching us, eeks. So here's 8 Avengers over there. Oof. Yep. Downing another one. So, yeah, all very concerning, but so far, SAMs go up. SAMs don't hit anybody, but possibly that puts people off. It would certainly put me off. Yeah, oof, this is a big one. So yeah, the cap gets in whilst medium and heavy SAMs loose off all over the place. It strikes me that actually we've entered second phase of the battle with the discovery of these guys down here. And we're just coming up on the hour. So I'm going to have a little bit of a pause here, take a breather, collect myself again, and see what to do with these guys down here. And yeah, think about that. Because this could be another massive victory, and surely 2 massive victories and a mutinous fleet must tip the Americans over into realizing who is the master race here or not. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you next time.